Oh, I'm gonna hit it with a big one.
That's we're
Get
live.
Yeah, and then in capitals, Jensen is back. Oh wait, we're still we are live. Right,
Yes, we are.
what up? So, good evening guys and welcome now, it's in the chat to OTL Season 4, Round 6, Portugal, and tonight we have a familiar voice in the box. You've already heard them because numpty heat here forgot that my headset's absolutely wrecked and we were already streaming. Good evening, young Jensen.
Yeah, good evening, Chris. Good to be
Oh,
back here on Monday night. Well, be a one-off, but sure it'll be a
yes,
good one.
of course, because your Monday nights are filled with much bigger commitments to PSGL life.
Yeah, break week this week, so
Has it been treating you
yeah,
well, sir?
fairly well. So yeah,
We know you're a man on a mission, regardless. Ethan, Mr. Rob, and Kristaps, good evening. Ethan says first, because you're first man in the chat, that's what we like to see. Chat's been very good. Oh, Peter messaged me and I didn't even see it. Ah, Peter asked what track it was to try and do some practice and I never told him. So, we will get to the session ahead of us, of course. Portugal this evening, a technical little circuit. Will this be the second time it's been run in OTL? Just the second? I think it's just the second.
so. Yeah, it's second season on
So
this game,
any
isn't it?
guys that had an early retirement, which I think there was a few last season in OTL, this is really their first run with the grid.
Yeah, I think last season it was literally straight into it, wasn't it? I think.
Yes.
We had a break.
Of course, yeah, we
Into it.
dropped the
Yeah.
races in pretty quickly, didn't we?
Yeah, it wasn't too far after like when it came into the game. We expected it to all the tracks come a little bit later, but they came in quite nicely. And yeah, it was an interesting one last time out. Mike's the first on track, but yeah, Mr. Rage won last season.
Oh, so that is Rage going to try and string up some back-to-backs at Portugal and OTL?
Yeah, and last season as well, he was on the pace. He had the best pace out of everyone there, even besting Mike and Nelly, who you would expect.
So it's quite a pad-orientated track, right, Jensen?
It's a very, traction is like insane around here. You really need your traction, especially the corner Mike's going around turn 8, like that. If you get any bit on the throttle going through that corner, you're spinning. It's the hardest corner of the game to get right.
So Mike letting Matoman go through. We'll get a little rundown of the championship. Also, of course, Mike, in that incident last week with F. Lewis that just caused us all a headache for 15 minutes, has changed the outlook of the top of the championship. Rage now only 15 points behind Mike Bike on 107, Rage and P2 on 92, and then Nelly has brought himself right into it on 91 points, only a point splitting them. Then we have Irish Nude Potato on 90, so the top three very tight. Then Mikey 7 points behind in P5 on 83. Matoman having a great start to the season in P6 on 81. Then we have F.
Straight back on hits.
Oh. F. Lewis.
That will be the first.
Oh, sorry, Jensen.
No, that was my bad. You were running through the standings there, but yeah, Matt be the first to start a lap. I didn't expect Mike to pit there. I thought he was going to go for a lap. But
You think he's just bluffing the tyre? What's the best strategy here, Jensen? You're the stats man, you will know best.
you can go soft, medium, soft. They both work. I think depends where you are. Depends if you get held up or not. Because both of them could work. But I don't know exactly which is the best.
And did they fix the D-rate glitch? Fuck, they did, right? You do not D-rate anymore like 600 metres before the start finish line in a hot lap here, right? They fixed that.
D-rating?
Yes, your ERS used to cut out. You used to deploy too much here and you would cut out when the track first came,
yeah.
like literally coming halfway through the last corner. I think they fixed that.
I don't think I've not noticed not that. Matt hasn't used any energy this lap, so he's not necessarily going for a hot lap, exactly. But it's an 18.4 without any deployment, which is not too bad. Mick at 18.0. And
Nelly in the medium's just about to come through the last couple of corners. Oh, we think we have a driver ahead though. Could be Ryan Sam coming to the line here. Oh. It was 18.7 for Ryan Sam. So let's see, yeah, Nelly's deployment is working. So it does go all the way to the line now. Nelly on the mediums, 18.3. Ooh.
Not where he wants to be. I'm expecting he'll get the pace. Expect him to be at least a second quicker in that.
Even on the medium tyre.
Mr. Rage about to start of that. And also New Potatoes just started one as well. Last week's race winner, I didn't get to see much of it, but saw much of the Mike F. Lewis incident.
Dixie running the craziness of throttle application at turn 8, doing what you just said not to do, and struggled massively. And a medium traction, guys, so that shows even for the medium traction runners, it's still a very difficult corner. So for the likes of Mick, Nelly, Mike, SPW slots into P2 in an 18.1. It's a very, very tricky little corner.
Sector, so he's looking maybe into the high, he'd be about Ryan Sam.
And Greenfingers gets disqualified for the session for going the wrong way. And Adams had to let Nelly through there, but Nelly going in repeated laps, and this is something that I'm not so sure of. If you want to go in a repeated run, I don't think you should push your way through like that. Like Adam was just trying to get his first time in. 17.5 for Rage. So what else do we have on the lap? How's Nick getting on? I told Nick to stop driving like a turkey. So let's see if my motivational turkey words can make him turn into an animal. He gets away with one there.
Yeah, I think he hit the rev limiter quite early there, tried to avoid the annihilation. And anything else? Two McLarens, both on outlaps, both on the medium.
And I can't see the timer in the session because of this yellow flag in sector 2. I think that is ENTXJ had a bit of a moment, and I'm not looking at the stream, which is terrible. I really should be looking at what chat is saying.
Nick's not going too bad. I think he might get in just ahead of Rage potentially. I don't know where his sector time's going to stick in. It's a purple middle sector for Nick, and he's definitely going to be closer. Nelly goes P2.
No, and Con also gets himself up to P3 on a 17.7.
There goes Nick. Nick
and
goes
he goes
fastest.
pole for Nick. 73 in the medium compound tyre, and Nick, if you are watching, I expect more. Not 18 drivers jock, we'll just get one retired. Ethan says only time I'm going to be first. Hey, never, don't say that, do not say that. You never know. How many laps today, Jensen? 28?
33.
Oh
Same
wow,
as Spain.
I was way off.
And they're very similar lap times to Spain as well, so...
Of course.
It's basically another Spain, but different layout.
But much better.
It's sort of similar to Spain, isn't it? It's a very, very similar track. You're going to two very similar tracks in a row there. And Mike goes pole, with a 0.2 on the softs, so he is going a different way. And Mr. Rage is on a second lap, so he might be improving here. Let's see what he does. In middle sector, 4 temps up, he might be on for a 16 if he gets this end of the lap right.
Mike coming out the last corner also. Rob Wills about to bank a time too.
Yeah, Mike looking pretty strong on this
Rob
lap.
Wills went to P6 and his medium at 17.8. And it's P3 for Mike, 17.4, so very, very close. And Mr. Ray, 17 flat.
Look at these
Oh,
times.
very, very competitive. In that top 6, I think it's going to be very close.
I think we'll see some of them going for the softs.
As Kristaps jumps up to P5. Oh, excuse me, on his
Laps like
soft
that.
compound tyre.
Laps like that might give the guys a scare at the top.
Just force them into going onto that softer compound tyre. Good evening, young Mike. I've never seen you in the chat there. Your comment was very delayed. I'm just going to go grab myself a little can of juice.
Oh, and that was one of the McLarens just pulling out of the way very quickly there. I think it was Mike, almost impeded Kristaps. I think you should focus on your driving, Mike, rather than the comments.
Those pesky Irish.
Oh, there's a bit of polystyrene.
In Skarma Jensen, 17.5 up to P5 in the medium tyre, the soft tyre. So front of the grid looking rather different, although a lot of the guys now got off that medium onto the softs and
SPW
heading
may
out
have
on
been
track.
impeded by Mike as well, going through the start of sector 3. I don't know, that might have been just in the way. He might have got lost time. Let's see, 18-0, he may have lost time with that one, but let's see. He'll probably state his mind in the chat if he has. But
So who else do we have on a lap? How's Dixie getting on? He's invalidated. Pedro's still in the pits. How's F. Lewis getting on? He's out in his soft compound tyre. He's not deploying any energy at the moment. Ryan Sam just going to open a lap. Ryan Sam going for another run on his medium compound tyre. So that looks like an interesting strategy there for Ryan Sam. Matoman 7/10 up, so Matoman about to plunge into the 17s as well. He's roundabout on par with Nude Potato. Rob Wills, he can find another few tenths in the last couple of corners. He can maybe put a marker in against the Skarma Kristaps Nelly battle here. To the line he comes. DRS will pop open, and it's a 17.3 for Matthew on the medium compound tyre. He pretty much matches Nick, and Matt has improved massively recently. I don't know if he's changed his approach. Oh, get on board with the boy himself.
Yeah, purple sector 1 on the mediums.
Oh, so Ryan finding time.
Here. If he gets the rest of this right, guy a little bit off the apex. He's
Half a second.
If he
Not
gets
enough
the final
though.
sector right, it might be around Rob Wills and Irish. See how he goes though. May have dropped off a little bit over the lap, but
Got a very good exit out of the traction zone, the main traction zone in the last corner there, picked up the throttle beautifully.
here it
And I
comes.
think he's going to improve. He goes to 17.7.
Oh, ahead.
Rage 3 lap old, Nick 2 lap old, Matt 4 lap old, Mike 1 years old. Is that your age? I think that's your mental ages you're putting out there, Mike. I don't think you're talking about tyres at all. It's the
Like
mental
lap old.
capacity of all 3 people or 4 people.
What lap? Like 10 laps or something.
I think that he's talking about laps they've done on the tyre, I think.
The mental capacity of 10 laps. Then they just
In the wall.
implode.
Makes it
Yeah.
probably.
In the wall. You see at lap 11 they'll be in the wall at turn 1. Pedro on a lap. Wonder how he's getting
He's
on with
been
that.
quiet. We'll go on board.
Bit cool. He's cautious through turn 8, which I expect pretty much almost every driver to be cautious for that. It's really nice line, so through. It might be with Ryan Sam potentially this time. The Ryan Sam Irish potato area.
Looking nice and tidy, Pedro. Driving very smooth.
Yeah, he's really improved over this game. There you go. Second off pole, but it's still not too bad for him. He's P12. Keeps there, get the fresh sets. And speaking.
And that was his second run as well.
Yeah. Irish New Potato, Con, on a lap.
Yeah, Shiv, I did mention that. He's put a good one in.
Yeah, this might be pole position. He might just pep it with this lap at the moment. He might just about stick it in the 16.
Should find some more time through the last corner. Yeah, we've been on the better tyre.
Yeah, it was pretty nice from him. Just needed the final corner very good. I think it might be a 16.8 for Con. Here he goes, a 16.7. Even better. And he goes pole position with that one. And is that a wake up call for everyone else behind?
Kristaps 10th and a half up. Has he got any more time in the middle sector? We'll stay on board. I think he's one of the only men on a lap at the moment. Or he is a lead man on a lap.
He might stick himself up there in the top 3, I think.
And Ufasa is... Oh, what is happening with disqualifications? Oh, he's went off at that corner. It's stupid. They need to fix that so bad.
I can't believe it. Both of the Haas is disqualified, and Kristaps is only a 10th off New Potato this time. This is going to be close between them though. What's Kristaps got in? So I think this might be a 0.8, or maybe even quicker. But he's on the run to the line. This is going to be close between the two. It's a 17-0. He goes 100 rage.
Ufasa in the chat for ENTXJ again. I don't know if I said that already. Ufasa is one of our regular viewers. Ufasa is a G. He's like a day one man. So Ufasa, if this ever, yep, if we ever go big, you will always be remembered. You're like one of our first, yes.
Mod that man. There goes Mikey, he goes P4, he's just a little bit behind Kristaps. Kristaps going around again, Chris, but he's ran out of energy. So I don't think he's going to improve much more. Unless he is. He's not. And that's probably the end of Kristaps qualifying.
SPW in the middle of the lap, I've seen him go deep at 5, so I don't know if that... No, he's still 4 tenths up. So SPW...
Oh, and that Skarma's crashed out of turn 4.
Is he out? No, he's not out, is he? Oh, good.
I think SPW might just about hit Nick. Maybe get around that area. Let's put him in the top 6 if he does. See how he does though. P8 for SPW, he's just finding it off them.
Look how tight that fight is from P3. And who's that then improved?
I think it's Nelly.
Nelly up to P6. Who else do we have on a lap? Matterman 1 second up in the soft compound tyre. What? Matterman is 1 second up, that was showing me. And now he's getting a bit of a toll from his teammate. Oh, it's 2 tenths up.
That could, if Matterman gets the lap, that could be crucial for qualifying. He could get the pole position here. Can Matt? I don't think he's ever took pole position. So it would be a big moment for him. Of course, he's took a race win and fast laps before, but a pole position.
So Nude Potato takes the checkered flag. He's on pole position. Can't end. Oh, Mike's done it. Mike got a 16.5, but we'll stay with Matterman. He is coming through the middle of sector 2, 4 tenths up, so Matterman is threatening the 16s here. He could put Mikey under big pressure, for that second row of the grid. We'll need to bear in mind to see where Rage is. In fact, Rage might be coming to the line. Rage is coming to the line. Can Rage dislodge Mike? He does! It's a 16-3 for Rage. Where is Matoman? No, Matoman round the last corner. Can he get close to the top 4? He goes P3! 16-7 for Matoman. How is Mikey getting on? He is out the lap. Ryan Sam. Ryan Sam's up. Ryan Sam is up on his meet. Oh no, he's an invalidated lap, so it will be over.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. Mr. Rage taking it to death.
P3.
Yeah, great effort there. I knew he was gonna put his car somewhere up there. If Mike and Rage didn't put the laps in, that would have been pole position.
And we need to talk about how quickly that qualifying developed, because with 5 or 4 minutes to go in the session, Skarma was in P5. And at the end of that session, he fell to P13. So lots and lots of improvements coming in from any of the drivers, but Mr. Rage on pole position by quite a comfortable margin as well. A couple of tenths in the pocket. But Matoman looks like he is going to have a very, very tough challenge, Jensen, to hold down that P3, because there is a massive queue of drivers behind them.
I'll be right back, Chris.
Yes, of course, mate. But Mr. Rage takes pole at Portugal. That will be the end of the session. So, Mr. Rage on pole, Mike on P2. Matoman, I think the story of the qualifying session there though. On P3 on the grid. And where is my cable gone for my controller? Oh, here he is. Let me make sure I get us on charge. Chat. Oh no. So bear with me 1 second, please, guys. Jensen? Hello? I hope you can hear me, chat. Please tell me if you can hear me. In fact, I can check if I can be heard. So the guys got on their way in the formation lap. Let me just double check. Three people set 2 seconds ahead of me through the whole middle sector, or 3 different runs in quali. I guess you maybe just need to put that in, Nelly. I think that's maybe the safest option. So, it'll be Rage and Mike on row 1, Matoman and Irish Nude Potato row 2, Mikey, Kristaps row 3, Rob Wills and Nelly row 4, Nick and F. Lewis row 5, SPW and Mick row 6, Scarma, Ryan Sam row 7, ENTXJ and Dixie on row 8, and Pedro and Fingers, they both guys getting the disqualification glitch. I'm not sure, I think that's worth the report. They've been, I mean, Pedro was good for, I think, about P11, P12 on the grid, so I think he's been robbed a little bit of a starting position. And we will see, I would think, a lot of side-by-side stuff. Portimao is probably one of the best tracks for racing, like on-track racing. Lots of areas for guys to get side-by-side. Few corners where a couple of different lines will work in race conditions. So, fingers crossed for Rage. He needs it. He just needs to go out. Him and Mike do their thing at the front. Matoman, his focus I think is just going to try and stay with the pack. Let's get some data on the screen for everybody. We'll put it on position change. We'll have a quick look at the tyres outside the top 10. So everybody in the mediums, from Nick down, and then Fingers outside that top 10 on a soft compound tyre. We'll put it to positions change so we get an idea. We'll fill to the back of the grid. Watch Fingers file into place, and then we will get ourselves underway. So Fingers will roll up to his yellow line on the box. I think Pedro's going to be the last man, and in he goes. We'll see the guys reset and we'll watch from afar. As OTL's round 6, we'll have 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and the Portuguese Grand Prix is away. And it's a very, very good start from Mike at the start. Well, obviously at the start, he really bogged down there to Rage and really struggled to get any traction. And a bit of squeezing in its lap one, that's got to be expected. Rage will try and hold it on the outside.
There goes Mike. Is Mike going to take the corner? He's going to take the lead of the race. And looking back, it looks fairly clean at the back. No instance so far.
See who's that? Nick on his medium compound tyre. Gained a position off the start. He's the lead man on the mediums. Down there, P8. Nude Potato though. Lost out to Nelly. So that's an interesting one. Mikey got up to P4. Nelly gained 3 positions off start and got a yellow flag. Who's that went round?
That is Nick.
No.
He's done the turkey. He has spun and he's the last. And that advantage is completely gone now for Nick. So you have to try and come back as much as you can. And oh, it looks very close. So Adam and Pedro, they've got really close together. He's going to go around the outside of Pedro to make a little bit of contact. Oh, it's getting really feisty there. In the back of the field.
Yeah, I'm on board with this
Nelly.
one.
Nelly and Mikey down the inside for turn 1. Is he going to get it? He's enough alongside. There he goes. Mikey backs out, and rightfully so. He's right. Oh, the Red Bulls collide a little bit, and Nude Potato goes over the grass and cuts the corner there. Bit forced on there from his teammate. A little bit of contact, I think.
Let's see that. He just completely had to miss the apex at 3 and jump the corner completely, as we'll go further back. ENTXJ and SPW having a look at each other down the hill into the hairpin. Nothing happening that time around. And Dixie has got through him, Pedro. Where else is there battles happening? We'll wait on the DRS, but again it's tough when once you're in the train. Oh, as Irish Nude Potato has a big moment on the rear of the car out of the third to last corner. Kristaps not able to get close enough though to really make a run out of the last corner. As Nelly now starts to fall outside the DRS of Matoman. So Matoman doing a job.
Mr. Rage's got so much more speed. I think he's got much less wings than Mike. He's got that massive speed advantage down the straight. I think Mike probably sees that, and he's got to think of a way to try and keep him behind, because if Rage gets ahead, it's going to be hard for Mike to get back through.
And Mataman is right on this fight, doing an absolute stellar job ahead of Nelly, outside the DRS. Andy has a bit of an advantage to energy, so Nelly's having to push just a little bit more to hold on to the back of this top three.
No advantage being out, like, a DRS gap ahead. Like, there's no more pressure behind, really. Just focus on the guys
Although
ahead.
Nelly has just pulled himself back into that window, so now we're going to have the top 9 drivers all in that DRS train.
Maybe not. Rob Wills.
He's just getting it. I'm going to go to Rob. Is he going to be inside? He will just be inside for the detection. Did Mataman fall out? No, he's got the DRS. I think he was outside in the detection zone, but
there goes Rage though. Here comes Rage, going for a move into turn 1. He's done it. And that
but look at Mike. Oh, Mike was having a
Rage.
good look there back on the return into 2, but Rage firmly shut that door over. But will Mike get the run now down the hill?
There we go. But Rage is pretty safe.
Mikey having a moment. Con capitalising that. He's very, very close to his teammate, but tricky but part of the circuit to really make any gains. As Mikey has a
out turn 8.
it's a horrible corner. It's so bad.
F. Lewis, look at him on the mediums. I think he is in a very nice spot at the moment. He's just hanging on with the train, and he's on the alternate strategy. And how's that quali ban being lifted for him?
Rejuvenated him.
Prime opportunity. He's gave himself the prime opportunity of winning this race, maybe, if he makes his strategy work and he holds on to the train. But he's got to rely on the guys ahead to hold on as well. Kristaps has ran out of energy, and there goes the 2 Red Bulls fighting, and Khan has got through past his teammate. And Nick sets the fast slap on his charge back through the field. He is about to get green fingers in the next couple of corners. It's looked very grey as well. And he goes down the inside of green fingers, he locks up. And he's got through. Green fingers, he yields that.
ENTXJ now going side by side with Ryan Sam down at the bottom of the hill. He will get through the inside line, and Scammer tries to capitalise on that. He'll try and go beside Ryan Sam, but Ryan Sam gets all the energy to cover that one off. Nelly now took himself into this front pack fight and dropped the DRS to Con and below.
DRS now, and this is a mistake from Nelly. Con, he's going to be under pressure from behind. Oh, he loses the back end there, and then goes his teammate and Kristaps. They're going to follow through, and it shows how really difficult these traction zones are here.
So is Nelly going to try and get a run on Mataman here? I don't think he's going to come close enough, but what we might see...
Con might get a run here on Kristaps. They're both getting close. Con's looking for the outside. Kristaps gives the room, and they make a little bit of contact. Con goes a little bit off track, but it wasn't too much. They both hold position for now.
I think that was fair but hard racing there.
Here we go. Kristaps, he's attacking, but he's not going to be close enough for a move. Slap.
Further back, the Mr. Rage, ENTXJ and Ryan Sam battle continues. Back down the inside, down to the hairpin, but Ryan Sam a bit smarter this time around. Carries it. He got that in check very, very well there, because that was destined to be a big spin. Nick now back onto the back of this pack after having his early moment in the race. What have we got happening further up? This Con and Kristaps battle, I think it's going to turn into a little spicy one. Kristaps low on energy. Con sees it and does not want to lose any track time here. He wants through as quickly as he possibly can, so I think we might see Con get on the push here and try and get Kristaps under a bit of pressure. Kristaps of course got no energy, so Con will get it done early, gets a big run here, he'll get his DRS open. Now can he close the gap up? Kristaps is spent and Con is spent. They have absolutely nothing, but Kristaps will defend.
Look at Mikey,
from now.
Half a tank.
And he's slowly but surely bringing himself back up to this fight at the front, so...
I don't think he is, it's 2.2.
Oh no, it's went out, oh yep.
Yeah. He's holding off the guys behind. It's not too far off the leaders, but look at this, we're about to get to the pit stop phase anyways, and this is where F. Lewis could gain on these guys. If these guys get held up in the train of the ult strategy runners, if they can't get through.
Shiv says, Kristaps showing good pace for second week in a row. Yes, very much so. Of course, last week he had the little struggles with connection, which can happen to all of us from time to time. And I think he made the most out of a bad situation. Couple incidents that cost him. Of course, time penalty hurt his position, but looking to just keep his head down tonight.
We've seen a new and revised Kristaps this season, I think. Definitely improved the results so far.
I think OTL is kind of bringing out the best in most guys. It's really helped push them on. I think the boys enjoy their racing here as well.
It's 6th in Jeddah, and of course got the podium in Spain, even after his penalty. So, on a good roll of form at the moment. But here comes Kristaps and Mikey, once again very closer than last lap. But Mikey still keeps the position quite comfortably. And look at the gaps. Mataman's been dropped, I think, just about. He's lost the DRS. He's going to have to use a lot here. Mike, he's got a whole tank of
We've got a
energy.
yellow flag. Who was that? ENTXJ. Oh, is he at the moment?
Might have. Is Mataman going to keep with the guys in front? I don't think he is. I think he's lost the gap now. Nelly, this is his opportunity to get Matt down the straight. And here comes Mike. Is Mike going to get rage this time around? And he's using, and he's stopped using. But now it's going to be an easy overtake anyway. Rage, he is out of energy. So Mike has been very smart with his deployment, and now he's leading. He's got a massive advantage of at least 60% over Rage. But here comes Rage again. No, Rage using the DRS. There's a yellow flag. That's Kristaps is spun and he's in the wall. He's lost his front wing. That could be a safety car. Maybe.
Mike gets the switch back on Rage out of the hairpin and retains his position after Rage going on the attack. Just went a couple of feet deep into the apex.
They're fighting hard there. They saw the crash. They tried to get the track position for each other, but
of course Nelly getting into it, and of course it's bringing Matt back into the fight as well. So it's going to and from here, although Mataman struggle. Oh, Mataman's round! Mataman's round, he's going to go right across the corner. Will he collect something on the exit? Oh no, and he gets a 10-second time penalty for cutting a corner. Yeah, you'll get that off Mataman.
And he drops P4 to now in the second.
Oh, and the tyres are gone. He needs to pit. He needs to pit.
And he is in the pits now.
Will he serve that penalty? No, he won't, right?
Nah, he can't serve a 10-second.
That's right, of course.
It's on one whole penalty, and that's Nelly. Nelly's spun as well. Third place.
Oh wow!
Nelly, third and fourth spinning in space of half a lap. That is very interesting. But now it's brought the Red Bulls third and fourth.
And Rob Wills up to P5. F. Lewis on that medium compound tyre, now pretty much in the DRS of the top P3 fight or the P3 fight on that alternate strategy, so his race very much coming into play.
Yeah, you just got to watch out for his finals then. As long as he goes for the right tyres, so if he doesn't do a Pedro and pick the wrong tyres. I don't think Pedro does that anymore. He actually goes for the right strategies this time. But that's of old.
Yeah, Shiv, I agree. He's looking very good. Where else have we got some battles at the front? Is Mr. Rage going to put Mike under any pressure this lap? He is gaining. He's showing Mike that he's there, although he turns the DRS off. And he will choose not to go this time around. Nude Potato and Mikey now. Not close enough. What about F. Lewis and Rob Wills? They're not going to be close enough either. And Rob Wills and F. Lewis now in the DRS window of Mikey. His fingers picks up a penalty for speeding in the pit lane.
Here we go.
ENT Exchange Scum having a battle for that P10 position further down the grid. I think we want to stay with this Red Bull battle. Who else is in the chat? Oh ho ho, now that is a very good shout, Shiv. I wonder, and that's that finished. Well, that's that absolutely nipped in the bud. Mikey is going to take your advice and he's going to try and undercut or get a gain on his teammates. F. Lewis now up to P4, 6 positions gained on that medium compound tyre. Green Fingers gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Nelly boxed also. As Pedro now gets through on Mikey on his medium run, as does Dixie. So the guys pitting off the source have ended quite a bit back. P12 for Mikey, Nelly P14, and Matoman got the jump on Nelly by quite a margin. Matoman 5 seconds up the road. Wow. Mikey went to the hard compound tyre. I wonder if that's strategic, if he is looking to go to the end of the race. We've got Ryan, Sam and Nick now battling. These guys of course on the medium compound tyres also. We're going to see Rob come to the pits. What about Mike and Rage? They're continuing for a lap on. SPW picks up a time penalty for multiple warnings himself. So where else is there fights? That fight for P1, let's go back to it. Mr. Rage was very close to Mike there. Oh, excuse me, chat. Is nothing will present himself at the moment for Mr. Rage. But Ryan, Sam and Nick, can Ryan Sam get a run out up over the hill? I don't think he's going to be close enough. 8.5 tenths is too big a gap. So we'll just go back to the front two as we get on board with Rage, having a big oversteer moment, and that will be him now out of the DRS. Can he find some lap time to get himself back into that window, or is Mike just going to push on now and try and stay away? And Rage, I think, has got himself back there. And would this be the sign that the medium tyres are coming into play? As F. Lewis tucks right under the rear wing, and Nude Potato trying to get a run as we see Mike and Rob Wills, the two McLaren boys, and Rob Wills. It's going to be a actually beautifully run double stack here for McLaren. And that was a very, very good job there from the team. Good stuff, very efficient double start. It's good to see the game being a bit more efficient on those things also. So Matt has got through on Dixie. Let's see our guys that have boxed. Mike got a huge overcut on Mataman, although he was quite a bit ahead. Mataman having that big moment. But where else is there battles? F. Lewis and Nude Potato. Let's stay with this fight and see if anything materialises. So I think we might see Nude F. Lewis get released. So we get F. Lewis into the pits. I think Nude Potato will come to the box also. Yep, and F. Lewis will get a bit of DRS for good measure. Let's look at Mike on the charge. Scar my head. He's on the fresh tyre. And he is gaining. He'll go to the inside. Through he goes at turn 1. ENTXG next for Mike. And then Ryan Sam just a few seconds up the road. Traffic bowling very, very nicely for Mike at the moment. Dixie and Rob Wells having a fight. Rob Wells going round the outside, down at the bottom of the hill. Nelly right on the back of this one also. And that was a great camera there, all we could see was trees. Stupid game. So I think this will be when Mike gets through an ENTXJ. Is Nick has a penalty. Don't know if that's a multiple warnings penalty or a speeding in the pits. As F. Lewis goes to the pits. That's interesting. Mike will continue on. And where is F. Lewis going to come out? I'm intrigued by this. Can Pedro get out ahead? Yes, he will. And F. Lewis has went to the hard compound tyre, so he's planning to go to the end. And he's got out in front of Mikey and Nelly, and he's in the battle with Mataman. F. Lewis has pulled a blinder here. If he can make this hard tyre work, he's pulled a blinder. Oh, excuse me, chat. No, you're good.
I'll have to be, yeah, I'll have to do something for 15 minutes. Yeah.
You're absolutely fine.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah. Just have to sort something out, sorry.
No worries, mate. So Mataman now on the back of Pedro. Pedro up to P7. And looking to just drag this medium tyre out for a few more laps. Mataman starting to gain in Pedro. He will bide his time here and tuck in behind. As Pedro goes away to the pits for what I think will be the hard compound tyre. As Nick sets the fastest lap up front. But Mike has got through, he's gained a couple of seconds on Rage also, so he's finding some good time. ENTXJ on the DRS of Mr. Rage. He's having a good old race, is Jay. And one of our longest standing men on that medium compound tyre, so he's looking to drag it out. Oh, Matoman and Nude Potato go side by side in the middle sector. Of course, Nude Potato goes through, but Matoman will be now getting the DRS, so bit of an advantage back to Matt. Of course, will his medium tyre go to the end? I do not know. Is Nick now pits? Where is he going to come out? I think he'd be just in front of Dixie. Or just behind Dixie even. Can Matoman get anything done on Nude Potato? DRS will pop up and you'll see that Nude Potato is below 10%. So opportunities may present themselves. F. Lewis now on his hard compound tyre onto the back of this battle as well. Of course, F. Lewis will be going to the end of the race, so he's now racing for position. As Matoman has a little moment of understeer there, oversteer, sorry, on the exit of turn 8. So where else do we have battles, chat? Everything's settled at the moment. The race is opened out quite a bit. I think this is our biggest battle at the moment, the F. Lewis Matoman Nude Potato. So we'll sit with the middleman, which is Matt. Look at Nelly on the back of Rob here on the big push. And through Nelly goes, as well as Matoman and F. Lewis doing a bit of racing side by side. Oh, there'll be a little bit of contact. Oh, so was Matoman a little bit aggressive there? I think so. I think he just throttled up there in the exit of 2 without thinking that F. Lewis was there. If F. Lewis doesn't check up, there would have been a bit of a crash. Something needs to happen. Come on, guys, go racing. Down to 14 laps to go. The DRS here is a bit of a train. It's really hard unless you're just overtaking one driver. It's very hard to really jump on somebody else as F. Lewis goes to D-rating. And now it is a drag race to turn 1. F. Lewis retains the position, Matoman P7. I think Nick just got through in Dixie, yes he did. So we'll go back to this fight, the Nelly F. Lewis. Rob Will's gone to the back of this one as well. Matoman though slowly gaining Skarma's DRS, so we're about to have quite a big battle in the midfield. The guys are slowly catching back up to each other, and I think we'll see the race come alive into the last kind of 8 to 10 laps. Oh, Nelly there having a look when I just got on board. It looks like he was having a bit of a moment. Skarma into the pits. We will see where he filters out onto the soft compound tyre, so he'll go to the end of the race. He'll come out in P13. What tyre is Dixie on? On the mediums, is he on a bold run here? He's going to try and run that tyre all the way to the end. That would be an interesting strat. Matoman still holding off F. Lewis at the moment. He's got a bit of an energy advantage as well. But I think we could see him go through at any moment, and we've got Nude Potato now in the back at ENTXJ as well. Jay will be looking to box just shortly, I think. Don't think he's pit left yet. Let's have a look. Nope. So him and Ryan Sam and Dixie, the only three not to stop. And I think we're going to see Nude Potato going to ENTXJ unless they're pitting this lap. And then we will see F. Lewis, I think, make a run as Ryan Sam goes in. So I think we'll see ENTXJ going as well. ENTXJ goes to the pits. So can F. Lewis get the run on Matoman? F. Lewis is gaining. Matoman will just go into the D-rate. He'll have a look and show that he is there. But he's not going to quite get close enough this time around. But can he get him on the run down into the hairpin? No, not this time. So where else? We got some battles. This is it. This is our only fight on track. So we're just going to have to stay with it, chat. Chat, I am not kidding, I must have yawned about 40 times this stream. I am very tired today, I apologise. Well, I have those days. But F. Lewis is looking a little bit closer to Matoman this time around. I think we could see an overtake come this time. Matoman's not going to be able to do much to defend it. Although, yeah, there we go. So once the DRS is engaged, F. Lewis will go through it. Matoman will accept that there's not much he can do this time around, and he'll tuck in behind. As Nelly now makes a big move down the inside. That's a good overtake there, a bit of squeezing it on. Matoman will keep himself in the inside, and they will now drag race down the hill, but Nelly will use a bit of energy. Matoman's going to keep his nose in there though. They'll go side by side through turn 6. And it continues on, or turn 5 that is, sorry, I apologise. Good bit of racing there between Nelly and Matt, but Matt losing out a couple of positions there in a couple of corners. We've got Nick now on his soft compound tyre all over the back of Mikey. So what can Nelly do now? Can he get the jump on F. Lewis? F. Lewis low in the energy, but I think he's far enough ahead to defend it for this lap round, although Matoman is making a run on Nelly here. Matoman right in the thick of it, so he is. And he just needs to keep pushing on, because he might be able to provoke these guys he's racing into a penalty, which of course brings him into that fight. As it stands at the moment, there's not much he can do. The penalty's always going to hurt him unless he can jump ENTXJ and then pull away, which is highly unlikely because of the powerfulness of DRS. So he's got to think about how he puts these guys in front under pressure. Thinking about doing it in the right places, without aggressively forcing other drivers offline as he goes a bit deep there in the brakes. And it does a very good job to keep out of the back of Nelly. So Nelly trying to close in on F. Lewis. F. Lewis took a big defensive line, trying to go all the way to the inside to break the toe, but Nelly is now gaining into turn one. He will put that car up the inside. He is there. He'll need to accept it, but look at F. Lewis. He'll come back in the cutback. Nelly just went a bit deep in the brakes, and I think that's going to be very late, but F. Lewis will open the line up and defend it on that outside, but Nelly will now have the DRS. He has to check up on the throttle a little bit as the rear of the car tries to step out. He'll now pull to the inside line as they go downhill into turn 4, and Nelly will get the job done. But look at F. Lewis on the cutback again. He's trying to have a go, but the tyre superiority shines through, and Nelly gets through an F. Lewis, but F. Lewis right hot on the heels of Nelly, and of course as long as he can stay there, he'll have the DRS to repay the favour. So down to 8 laps to go. Mike leads the way. Let's go on board with the leader for a little bit. Let's watch the McLaren man. He's been pretty faultless today. I don't think he was expecting much coming into today's race as well. So to get some points gain on Rage, I think he'll be very happy. Rage will be happy enough to bring home P2. Maybe feel like an opportunity squandered being on pole position. But you got to take the good with the bad. And I think he'll be relatively happy that he's bringing home a P2. Although he would want to win. Guys, thank you for joining us tonight as well. The stream has been very busy. We do appreciate you taking the time to join and watch the guys. They're not by any means pro racers, but they're a damn good bunch, and they do their best to create some good, exciting content. In fact, all of the categories within HOR P0, HOR OTL, they're all a good bunch, and there's very good racing across the board. We're not leagues where we find a lot of bitching and nonsense. We're just straight, a good bunch of guys looking to have a bit of fun. A time filled with banter, but serious when we need to be serious, you know. We can respect each other enough to disagree but still get on with business. And I think this is shown on track. So we appreciate you taking the time to see what we're about and following on and giving these drivers the opportunity to showcase themselves a little bit on the virtual stage. Will we see any overtakes here? F. Lewis on Nelly. He's not going to quite have the energy, but he'll get very close. So he'll probably hope to line up that move out of turn 3 downhill, but it's not going to come because the rear are just struggling a little bit. The hard tyres, just playing hardball a little bit, but he is hanging on. Mataman sitting at 30% energy. I think he could be doing a bit more now. I think he just needs to go and needs to push. He's got nothing to lose as long as he doesn't do anything too reckless. As Mike will come round the second to last corner to take us down to 5 laps to go, and almost outside that safety car window. It's been a very, very clean race actually.
Returned.
Good evening, sir.
Yep.
So not much has changed. We've got Mataman fell back behind Nelly and F. Lewis. F. Lewis chose the hard compound tyre. He boxed a bit early, but it got him the jump, and we've got somebody round. It's Pedro. Pedro dropped the rear of the car. I think he's had a bit of a moment and he fell to the back of the grid. That's actually came down. It was at 3 seconds.
So Rage, this is gonna be a battle at the end of the race. Hold on, battle at the end of the race coming up here. Wonder who will come out on top of this one.
And of course, if Rage can beat Mike tonight, I think he would close the gap to well under 10 points. So
yeah,
It'd be nice if we could pip him off. For Rage's sake, of course, as we have a yellow flag in Sector 2. Who's that this went round?
Alpine 6PW. Look at the gap now, half a second.
So let's watch this one up front. We'll see what the guys get up to. Well, they do a bit of racing. Mike low on energy. Rage looking in. He is closing up. Mike gets a much better exit, which will give him the better. Oh, and that Con has just got a penalty, which will put him outside that podium position. So Nelly is about to creep up into the podium.
Con gets the gap, still get this podium, but hard, easier said than done.
But the last few laps, Jensen, I think it's about to kick off between our leading two drivers, Mr. Rage and Mike. They went at it pretty fiercely in the first stint. Second stint was pretty much status quo. But Rage has just bided his time and pulled up to the back of this.
Rage's got the straight line speed advantage as well, I think. Just by his setup. We saw it earlier on in the race, he was gaining absolutely tons. And he's already pulled out. But he's going to pull back in. He's going to use absolutely everything. Mike isn't using anything, he cannot defend from this one. And Rage takes the lead of the race with only 4 laps of the race to go.
Mike's struggling a little bit on the rear traction, but I think he'll sit in now, do a bit of energy building, and I think we'll see Mike pounce again. I don't think that one is over. Matoman and F. Lewis battle is continuing.
Oh, look at the gap though. It's got to 9 tenths. He might have already broke the gap as Rage. Mike is not going to have to save it. He's going to have to use absolutely everything to get away or get back close to Rage here. I think he's just about done it. He's saved his race for the win there, just about.
So, coming down to just a couple of laps to go, the gap at the front down to 0.7 of a second. It was Mike leading the race for the majority, but Rage takes control with just a few to go, and I don't think Mike's going to be close enough to get anything done this time around. And this is our closest fight on track at the moment, so we're going to have to stay with these guys for the last couple of laps. And finally the leaders have given us something to watch.
Mike has to save fuel. He is literally right on the limit at the moment. 0.00 extra laps of fuel at the end of the race. So he'll run out of fuel before the line. At this rate, if he carries on at full speed, he's just going to have to think smart about this. Try and save behind Rage. You see him short shifting like crazy.
So I did notice that, and I never thought that fuel would have been an issue, so I think that's what we're seeing. So maybe Mike just went into protection mode and he's thought, right, I can accept not winning the race, but if I can just do enough to stay with Rage till the end.
Oh, it's gaps. I think Rage might just about have got this one in the bag.
So, on to the penultimate lap. Rage leads the way, he's got a comfortable gap up front. Mike on a bit of fuel saving mode.
Then again, it might not be a penalty for Con, as you remember that collision with Mikey earlier on where he had to cut the corner. That could be removed. I don't know if he will try and remove that one. There was nothing he could have done, but there's a spin as well for the Haas. It's green fingers. So the other Haas taking the time now, he's lost his front wing as well. That's really unfortunate for him. And now Mike, he's pushing. He's really pushing here. This is his only chance. He's got to stay close for the rest of this lap. stays back, he's not going to get it. If he pushes, he's still at risk of not getting it to the field. But he could try and save mid-lap, on the final lap, maybe. At the moment, he is absolutely perfect on the field. But Rage is too far ahead.
I think he's too
on
far.
This straight. He's going to have to wait until the next straight, I think, Mike. It's the only
And
chance.
they're both absolutely spent on the energy.
Only one more go for Mike. Here we go. Let's see. He's got ever closer. Oh, and Rage might get DRS off Pedro here. Does he get DRS? That's really
I think
close
he
to
has.
it. Even with.
No, he didn't.
Here comes
He did
Mike.
not.
Mike is
Can
pushing.
Mike get it?
It's too far back, and he knows that. He's going to slot him behind for now. He's going to have to wait for a potential mistake from Rage, which is really unlikely, but...
Oh, Nick's got a puncture! Nick has a puncture in P8, and that's going to cost him. So Nick's coming home with a broken wagon, but we'll go back to the battle in front as Rage comes back up the hill. And we'll come into the sector 3 for the last time as Rage about to make it back to backs at Portugal. Albeit these last couple of corners keep it nice and tidy, and I think he'll get the job done.
Yeah, he's got it, he's got it. And absolute class from Rage once again. He was one I tipped for the win after his performance last season. He's going to cross the line. And there's the win for Mr. Rage, the one he's been looking for in the second multiple-time race winner this season. He closes that gap to Mike. It's now 10 points, or even under 10 points with that. Nelly comes third, F. Lewis fourth, and what's happened to New Potato Con? I think he might have had a collision, or a spin. He's ran out of fuel, actually. He's ran out of fuel.
Oh, no fuel, he's
no.
going to be pipped. He drops to P8. Mikey, Rob Wills, top job for McLaren today, P2 and P5. That's going to pay dividends in their constructors fight. Good job from F. Lewis getting up to P4. Mataman might feel like it was maybe a disappointing day at the office. That one moment and that big penalty cost him, of course. Mataman will have 10 seconds to come off, so maybe he'll gain. He'll only get in front of Mikey, I think.
He'll get in front of Mikey and Rob Wills, I think. These gaps 6.3 behind to get P5, I think. Like that.
So Nude Potato falling to P8 because of the fuel. Ryan Sam 9, ENTXJ 10, Nick with that punctured tyre will come home in P11, Skarma 12, Kristaps 13, Dixie 14, SPW 15, Mick 16, Pedro 17 and Fingers 18. Not one retirement on the grid. Every driver started and every driver finished. A very, very good job, gentlemen.
Yeah, great.
Driver of the day from the game.
You'll take that extra point, Nelly. Solid job for P3, best of the rest there. And he's just picking off the best of the rest results at the moment. It's just another podium for him. So he could be coming back into his own in this one. We could see a three-way championship fight on our hands. Maybe even four-way with New Potato if he gets the races, but today's Rage. Rage's day. Maybe get the screenshots of that. There we go.
Yeah, I'll give a little scroll, or if you'll get, I'll just scroll anyway, just in case. So we need to get young Mike, Mr. Rage, and Nelly in for a chit chat. Yeah, you do that so we don't go blue screen. Thank you very much, sir.
Oh, you're breaking up a little bit.
Oh, is it better?
Yeah, it should be. I'm pretty sure it's now, yeah. Right.
Good. All will be better tomorrow. So we'll get our guys in for a chat. Very good job from Rage. He takes the win by 0.8 of a second. Nelly rounding off the podium in P3. We Mike there in P2. Good job from F. Lewis, P10 to P4. 6 positions gained in the grid. Ryan Sam gained this whole 5 positions. ENTXG got 5 also. Disappointing days in the office, I think, for Mataman. He'll feel that was a missed opportunity. Starting P3, but we will wait and our guys joining. And Jensen, I'm going to leave the driver of the day call on you today, because you done that to me the
cheers.
last time. Oh, so our race winner joins us. Jensen, do you wish to talk to them, or will I talk to them?
I'll give it a hand for one time, but guess we'll get on with this. But Rage, congratulations, and that is another win in Portimao for you. Of course, you win last season, and this season you win in certainly similar fashion.
Yeah.
You're pretty dominant at the end there. Managed to keep the gap, but talk us through how your race went today.
It was. I seriously need to get better at my starts. But no, it was pretty simple race, to be honest, from the beginning. I always knew Mike would always get a better start, so I had, at any point I could try and stop him from taking that P1, but nah, his starts are always amazing, so that's not possible for me. So I had to wait until DRS to overtake him. And
well,
then,
I mean,
yeah.
We saw at the start you managed to pip, and then of course the pit stop scenarios shook that up a little bit.
Yeah.
And then of course you closed from a 3-second gap all the way down. And saw Mike was also trying to save fuel as well. He was right on the limit of that.
I had a feeling, yeah.
Yeah, he was short shifting a lot. And
yeah, I kind of felt that in the final 6 laps, where he was losing so much time. I'm like, he's fuel saving. Otherwise, I was not catching him.
Yeah, it's a very tricky one on this game. So it's been getting the right amount of fueling, and
yeah,
Mike's been a bit of a.
Usually there's safety cars, but we didn't have one, which was a surprise.
Yeah, everyone finished the race, which was that surprised me. Surprised Chris as well. But in the end, Mike, he gave it a good go on the final lap, but of course in the end he had to save fuel. And you saw Irish New Potato as well, ran out of fuel.
Yeah, I was in the party with him, and when he said he ran out of fuel, I think he had to do like 3/4 of the lap, maybe. I think when he said it, which was it's so unlucky for him, so unlucky.
Well, in the end, don't have to consider anyone else. You've won the race today, and utterly deserved, in my opinion. Chris, anything?
No, just very good job, sir.
Thank you very much.
Good to see. Portugal seems to be a track that you're laying down as your own in OTL, so good stuff, man.
I would never have thought that.
Well,
hey, still good effort.
Yeah.
But anyways, we'll go on to second place. Mike, you were saving fuel at the end of the race, but seeming conversations before the race, you still happy with that result?
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
Well, of course, at the start you got the clearly better start there, but there's a quick question to Rage as well. What wings were you both running? Because I called this on the early doors that Rage was running a much lower downforce because he was catching so much on the straight. But that might just be me.
I was running 710 out there.
I was running 711.
It might just be that little difference, but you got the better start over Rage. Of course, he got you Venom, but then of course you won out on the pit stop. Gaps, you had 3 seconds, but yeah, it was really unfortunate for you had to save fuel there. But you tried to give it your all in the final lap there. You got really close. But it just wasn't close enough. I saw you both were absolutely spent on energy, so it was pretty much no one's game there. But I mean, it's still P2. You're happy with that? I mean, of course, talking before the race, you weren't expecting much from him, but I think P2, of course.
Are you asking me or are you telling me?
I
Yes, Jensen, I am very happy with my P2 today. I only lose, what, 6 points or something to Rage, which is
yeah,
fine.
I think it's just under 10 points now the gap.
Yeah.
But yeah, Chris, you have anything to say for Mike?
No, unfortunate that the fuel saving became an issue near the end, because I think you controlled, you always seem to be strongest on the medium tyres. It seems to be just a tyre that you race very well on, and if it wasn't for that, I think you still win the race today, and I think Rage recognised that it probably was lost if that wasn't the case off the start. So, yeah, very good effort,
I think
man.
it was more the pit stops. Like, he went an extra lap and I gained about like 2 seconds on him then. So
Well, that is true. Mataman had a big spin, and he was fighting Nelly at the time, I think, for P4, and it forced him to pit too early, and he came out 5.5 seconds ahead of Nelly, albeit with a couple of laps, but the undercut was very powerful.
yeah, like fuel shouldn't be a problem next week. So more so keep the car.
Unless you go 7 laps under fuel.
Shush.
So
It's like certain Welshman.
Yeah,
Did Nelly
congratulations,
join?
Mike. Yeah,
Yeah.
Nelly is though.
Ah, good stuff.
Somewhere
he
in
there?
the background.
Nelly?
Hello.
Oh, he sounds very depressed.
Husky.
Thank you, Jensen, for telling the whole world live on the internet.
Poor guy.
But Nelly, P3, it's another podium this season. You're starting to come into your form a little bit this season. Bit of a lonely one, the final stint, of course, Con losing out at the end. And you pretty much secured the podium there, but talk us through how your race went.
I would have won this race, but I hit the curb, and I'm sorry to everyone who was watching, because I denied a triple threat WrestleMania main event.
Yeah, we saw that. I was like, because Matterman spun on like
Matterman did what do you remember I did that last
half
season?
lap before you. Yeah,
Exact same place.
just
Where
spun
me and
across
Mike
the
were both hunting
entire
down
circuit.
Rage, so you know, I don't it's so annoying you guys don't let me swear. There's words I want to say. Yeah, it's more annoying that it's my fault, but I fought back so I could get on the podium and apologise to all the viewers for not kicking these two's asses. It's so annoying. But yeah, so it didn't matter about Con's penalty, I would have got him anyway, and I mugged everyone else off, so fairs, respect to these two, they did well, they didn't spin, so, and so good for them, but if I'm going to win the championship, I need to win these races, and I'm just bending over at the moment, so... but thank you.
I mean, of course you won in Bahrain. You had the bit of a sour next two after that, but you've started to come back with some results here.
And you know Mike and Rage will at least bottle it at least once more.
no,
It's
not
just
happening
jinxed that
anymore.
now.
Not happening anymore.
Well, all I can say is I hope me coming back through the field was entertaining. I did knock a few bells out of a couple people. We did all have a big punch up. But yeah, it was fun coming back through the field. I didn't smile once, but it was fun.
Well, Chris,
Yes, sir. Is that?
I
think we come to the.
Nelly.
No, not just good effort. I think you know yourself. You said it there. If you want to lay down a title challenge, you need to be capitalising on the races you feel you're strongest. So I think we'll see more, and I don't think it'll be the last of us seeing these three on the podium also. So Good job. P3, not what you wanted, but still a podium. Good points,
thank you.
and it still
I'll never
gives you a
give up,
fighting
don't worry.
chance with many rounds to go.
Let's do it.
Well, I mean, we're going next week, just to ask all of you, into Monaco.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh no.
I'm pretty sure it's Monaco. It is Monaco, so, yep. Strap your seatbelts on for this one. This is going to be a interesting one, but how do you guys feel going into that one?
It's Monaco.
It's just
You have to
that,
take
it's
it.
Monaco.
Yeah,
I
it's
gotta
just
try.
Monaco.
I love Monaco, but I gotta try and stick up for the Pad Warriors. It's gonna be difficult, but
And Mike's sitting in the background
two-time winner in
silently
Monaco,
saying
Nelly.
easy dub.
huh?
Wait, didn't he
Well,
crash
it
out
wasn't
last year?
last season.
He crashed out, didn't he?
Yeah.
Because a certain someone won the race.
Oh yeah, the Monaco winner.
Monaco King.
Look. All I'm gonna say is I'm not letting that happen again.
Will he make a special appearance for Monaco?
Although I won't
No.
be there, I'm
I just-
predicting the Master of Monaco, Monaco King, to win the race.
Oh, of course, Dixie won the race last year. Oh no, do
Yes,
not
he
let that
did.
happen again. Do not let that. I cannot have that in Discord again.
He
actually
will,
happened?
he will not let anyone
Yes.
forget it.
But the worst thing is that he won Monaco in realistic on Thursday before as well. So he
Yo,
went
good
back
for
to
him,
back
man.
Monaco.
No,
Well, I
it
mean,
was bad for
but-
us, not good for him.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
You
the
guys
track
need to get
record is-
practicing.
I mean, the track record is Nelly and Adam, the only two winners at Monaco. Nelly's on pad, and Adam
Is
on
Adam.
is
I
Adam.
won because qualifying was wet, so I destroyed everyone in qualifying, and then I just held a train for like 38 laps in the dry.
Being massive spin for the whole race.
I just hope it rains. I think it would be brilliant if it rains.
If
I
it
think
rains,
that's
I'm
it
putting
then.
you in the wall.
Yes,
Oh.
it is.
I almost choked.
Oh, we got one more thing for me.
Oh yes, and I was leaving that to you, young Jensen. Since you're on a guest appearance, you can
Since I-
you can have the call.
Since I wasn't there for a portion of the race because I was doing something, but I think given that Mike was running out of fuel, if Mike was on pure pace at the end, maybe he might have been able to hold on potentially, but we don't know that.
What was the point in saying that?
It's a hard one. It's a
I
hard
think-
one to call. This.
I think Lewis should get it for
think-
fighting through with those hards.
He did the harder tyres strategy, didn't he? And he still
Yep.
managed P4. I think for me, yeah, it's either Lewis or Rob Wills did also a very good job, but
If I had an input, that's who I had in
it's an
mind.
interesting. It's
Was
not the right
Rob.
strategy to go for Lewis with it.
Yeah, it was dumb.
A medium to hard is like a much slower strategy. But
So give it to Rob just for that reason, didn't it?
I don't know, Chris. You do it.
No, I was leaving it on you, sir.
Can I decide?
Oh my god.
No, don't
Well,
let him decide.
I think. I mean, yeah. I mean, okay. Okay, I'm come to a decision, and I'm going to give it
Drum roll.
to Rob because
Yes!
I mean,
Congrats, Rob.
he just ran a solid race. Really, he was on his own. Really, if you look at the end result, he was had massive gaps in between. But yeah, P5. I think you usually see him in the more mid pack, but yeah, he's up there today.
Oh, this guy is waffling.
I mugged him twice, don't worry.
He wasn't even here for the race.
Guess what I'm eating though?
Waffles.
Chris, do the outro.
Yes, so on that very somber
out of
note, the channel will be live again on Wednesday for HR, so be sure to tune in then. We will see you then, guys.